to make shit happen. This is 3 Minute Thursday, episode number 135. Guys, I want to talk about what I always talk about, right? And one of my passionate subject is savings. Now, savings is in personal is good. First of all, but in business makes the biggest difference. A lot of people, they're in business and they don't know, a lot of businesses do that. They just don't know if they're making a profit. They just depend on the accountant telling them at the end of the year how much profit did they make. And sometimes, business, they stress over making payroll and stuff like that. And what I did in my business is the strategy that I urge all of you to do. It's called basically, taking your profit first. So how you do that? So let's just say you a store that sells candles, right? And Monday through Sunday, you generated about $5,000 worth of revenue. I will take 8 to 10% of that $5,000 and transfer that money into a different account. And that's what I did for a long time and still do it today. And honestly, when I started doing that, I started seeing the profit. I started seeing the money. I wasn't stressed out about my taxes, my sales tax, paying the employees and stuff like that. So do that. It's just basically the 401k principle. If you don't see something and if it's not accessible to you, then you forget about it. So you take that $5,000, you transfer $400 to an account. And I mean, once you move that $400, let's just say if $5,000 was enough for you to pay your bills, $4,600 will be enough. And when you have less, you try to grind it down to make it work with that less. When you have more, the more you have, the more you spend. You have heard of it probably. When people make more money, their lifestyle gets more, their expenses gets more and stuff like that. When they have less money, their lifestyle is less and their expenses are less. So, keep your overhead low. $4,600 or $5,000 wouldn't make a difference, that $400. But what that $400 will do to you is that $400 multiplied by 52 weeks is a big amount of money all of a sudden. Okay? Because all of a sudden that's like that. And that's if you're small business. Now imagine if you're generating $20,000 a week revenue and you're taking that 8 or 10% and you're putting $2,000 in a different account. All of a sudden, that makes a big difference. You got $100,000 sitting in these accounts. And I mean, you got to have different accounts. And also, you got to have an account where you put your taxes or in case shit happen bucket. You can open up these little buckets and make sure that you never dip into these other accounts. These other accounts you should never ever be touched. You have an operating account and then you have these other accounts. These other accounts, and when you accumulate the money in these other accounts, you can buy something. Just think about it. Like when you were a little kid, right? And you got birthday money or Christmas money or something. Your grandparents gave you money or your parents gave you money. Your uncle or aunt gave you money. There's two kind of kids. One kid wants to go run to the store and buy something. And then there's another kid who saves that money and want to buy something big with that money. Well, I want you to put that mentality of saving something to get something big. Business people, entrepreneurs, they're the worst money managers. They don't know how to manage money. When they have a good month or a good quarter, all of a sudden they go buy some fancy shit and they make their expenses go out of control. You got to be able to take your profit. You got to be able to save money for in case shit happens. You got to be able to have money for your taxes right away when it's available, because Uncle Sam does not work with you when the taxes are due. And you cannot borrow the money. I mean, I'm just saying borrow. If you borrow money from Uncle Sam, basically stealing taxes, that never ends right. So, guys, that's just a couple of things I want to share with you in this 3 Minute Thursday session. If you like this, if you like it, send me an email at samzavery@gmail.com if you have any questions. I'll definitely talk to you. I'll definitely answer any questions that I have. That's how I built my business. 23 years. Okay. I was in business. First 10 years I was in business, I was always strapped. I'm like, first 12 years I was in business, always wondering how am I going to make the next, payroll? How am I going to make sure that the rent is paid? How am I going to pay my sales tax? And when in 2011 or late 2010, matter of fact, 2010, late 2010, when I finally decided that that's how I'm going to do, I'm going to take the money, put it in a savings account or a checking account in a totally different account and start saving money. My life changed. My business changed. Because you are more focused in making less things, less source with making it happen with less resource. So all of a sudden you're focused on your business, because at that time less becomes more. And when you're focused on your business, magic happens. There's no secret for that. Thank you for listening to this 3-Minute Thursday session. I appreciate it. If you have any question, hit me up, samzavery@gmail.com. I'll answer all your questions. Or my Instagram is Life of Super Sammy Z. You can DM me right there. Facebook is Sam Zavery. I'm on LinkedIn, Sam Zavery. Hit me up. Thank you for listening to this 3-Minute Thursday. Now let's go out there and make shit happen.